Do you remember a horror movie from the late 90s about a vampire flew around in a black plane? He landed at these small airports and he killed whoever was working. And there was this sleazy reporter trying to chase him down. Well, if you remember that movie, this is the video for you. The 1997 Stephen King adaptation, The Night Flier. Now, IMDb has this film releasing in Italy in 1997, but in February of 1998 in the United States. But I'll continue to go with 1997, because Wikipedia says this movie was released straight to HBO in 1997 in the United States. Now, I honestly don't remember when I first saw this movie. I'm pretty sure it was like late at night after I had worked a long shift, and there was just something on TV, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty interesting, and I watched it. And I remember loving it the first time I saw it. Now, if I remember correctly, back then I had a TiVo or a DirecTV DVR, because I'm pretty sure I didn't catch the entire movie the first time and I had to watch it again later. But I just don't remember what year it was. But let me just tell you, this movie is awesome. This is one of those films that not many people have ever seen. If you're a fan of like Stephen King stories, you've probably seen all of his TV movies, all of his theatrical movies. Well, this is one that didn't go straight to like NBC or ABC. It went straight to HBO and home video. I mean, honestly, if not for the gore and the language, you just assume this was a TV movie because it's shot that way. The music sounds like a TV movie, and it's so awesome because of it. This movie does all the things that great TV movies do with low budgets. Coming into it, you can tell that it's kind of a low budget movie. It looks like a TV movie, so you're not expecting a lot. You're not expecting a lot of spectacle, a lot of special effects, anything like that. What TV movies did really good was atmosphere. This movie has great atmosphere. It's just creepy from beginning to end. Another thing that TV movies do well is just tell a really good story. Like I said, they can't rely on big budgets for special effects and things of that nature. So they have to just tell a really compelling story. It needs to be interesting. As ridiculous as it might sound, if it's interesting, you're going to watch it. So with that out of the way, who's in this movie? The only real notable actor is Miguel Ferrer, and you'll know him from all types of movies and TV shows. He usually plays like a henchman or some kind of dirtbag, but he's good at what he does, and he plays this role as a sleazy tabloid reporter to a T. The only other characters to note are Catherine Blair, who's a young, fresh-faced reporter who's looking for a big break, played by Julie Entwistle, who really hasn't been in anything, and she just happens to be married to the director. And then there's the sleazy tabloid boss, Morrison, played by Dan Monahan. And then, of course, there's the vampire, Dwight Renfield, played by Michael H. Moss. Thankfully, the vampire is concealed for the majority of the film, which adds to the creepy factor. So what's this movie about, you ask? The Night Flier is a 1997 film adaptation based on a Stephen King short story of the same name. The plot centers on Richard Dees, a cynical and jaded tabloid reporter who works for the fictional publication Inside View. Dees is known for covering bizarre and gruesome stories, but he's become tired of his job. However, when a new story emerges about a mysterious killer who flies a small airplane and lands at remote airfields, Dees decides to take the assignment. The killer, known as the Night Flier, is rumored to be a vampire-like figure who drains the blood of his victims. Dees sets off in his own plane to track the Night Flier, following a trail of macabre murders at small airfields. As he gets closer, he becomes more obsessed and disturbed by what he finds. The story unfolds as Dees' skepticism, disbelief are challenged by increasingly unsettling evidence, including strange weather phenomena and gruesome crime scenes. Naturally, I left out a ton of details. But Miguel Ferrer as Richard Dees is someone who's truly despicable in this film. Like, if you're actually rooting for him, there may be something wrong with you, because he is the bad guy of this film, even though he's the main character. There's a scene early on where Dees is complaining that the paper wouldn't publish a picture of a dead baby that he got. Like, he was really upset that he put so much work into getting a picture of that dead baby. How dare they not publish it? This film tells you right from the beginning what kind of person Richard Dees is. He is truly an asshole. I really don't want to talk too much about this movie because I really think you need to watch it. It's really worth your time. It's not available on streaming anywhere. And it's one of those films that's kind of hard to even find like a Blu-ray or DVD. I don't even know if there's actually a Blu-ray of this movie available. But you can watch it on YouTube. It is still there. I promise you, if you're of a certain age, this movie will remind you of a really long episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
We have a lot in common, you and I.
Because that's how it's shot, and that's how creepy it is. And it's just excellent for that reason. And I'm usually not a fan of like generic background music, but somehow the background music in this movie just fits it. It's that perfect TV movie creepy background music. You know, it's no Hans Zimmer, but it's excellent. And before I go, I want to mention the vampire. Like I said, you don't see him very much in the movie, usually in silhouette or shadow. You get little quick glimpses if you're paying attention. You really don't get a reveal of the vampire until the end. And it's awesome. Because it's a vampire that you've never seen before. Not the typical Bela Lugosi vampire or the Nosferatu vampire. No, this one's actually kind of weird looking. Like he's actually like a giant bat. And it's so cool. Watching this movie again for this review actually got me interested in looking up the Stephen King short story. I kind of want to read it to see how close it mirrors the film. So after you click the like button and hit subscribe, go find this movie on YouTube. Watch it. It's not too long and it's a great watch. You will thank me later. So once again, I'm Steve and I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching.